Caution, the enemy is approaching.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2026. I was hoping to be able to get a video out earlier this month, but I ran into some problems with the Heavy Gear 2 playthrough. Some of the missions coming up are a pain in the ass to get through, let me put it that way. So that's put a bit of a delay on that. And admittedly, I ran into a little bit of a creative slump, I guess. I just didn't feel like recording anything. But, you know, been playing some games, just, getting my juices flowing again. This one is one that I've been wanting to cover for a little while. I'm not sure what people are going to think of it, though, because this is a game that is notorious for being pretty shit. This is 2019's Left Alive. This is in the Front Missions universe. It's a series that I have a certain fondness for. Oh, War Crimes. That I've covered a little bit in the past. I did the remake of the first and the first spin-off of this series, of which there are quite a few spin-offs in this series, the Front Mission Gun Hazard, which I highly recommend. This is one of those aforementioned genre spin-offs. Most of the games, the mainline games in the Front Mission series, are turn-based strategy RPGs where you control a team of mechs called Wanzers and, complete missions and then customize them, level up your pilots, stuff like that, strategy RPG type stuff. This one is a stealth survival action game taking place in an Eastern European city that's just been invaded and occupied by an army of powered armor wearing soldiers, mechs, tanks, and suffice to say, it's a shit show in, more ways than one. You play as 3 different characters through 14 chapters as they attempt to survive in this horrible situation, rescue civilians, gather supplies, try to find an escape, while also uncovering certain plots and conspiracies that are happening behind the scenes, which is pretty common in Front Mission. The Front Mission games is a bit of a double entendre. On the one hand, you're on the front line, a mission on the front lines of combat, but the missions themselves are a front for something else. It's a nice little play on words with those. So if we look at the database here are our main characters. We start off as Mikhail. He's a Wanzer pilot assigned for the Ruthenian Army 2nd Mobile Platoon. He's a Army Staff Sergeant. If we look at, before we go into that, look at the nation's organizations. This takes place in the city of Novoslava, which has been right smack dab in the border between the republics of Garmonia and Ruthenia. Put those together and look at the map, you've got the Ukraine. So sometime between now and the 22nd century, specifically 2127, well, Ukraine got split in half and became 2 different countries, one of which is allied, at least ostensibly, with the Republic of Zavtra, which is formerly Russia, and, a bunch of other countries, except for Belarus, which became the Republic of Ravnui. It's a long story. We'll get to that at some point, it's kind of important. And, well, suffice to say, the Garmonians have just invaded the Ruthenians. They're the ones who are currently occupying Novoslava and making our lives a living hell. Specifically using a shit ton of these bastards to do it. And also, we look at these guys. Soldiers equipped with some pretty nasty powered armor. This helmet, really good at blocking headshots, we'll see. And these drones are no joke either. I do have to admit, the database here, all this stuff that they show off in here, I do really always like having these kinds of things in games when you take out an enemy or unlock, sniff, and pick up weapons. These things are cool. These are like UAV drones that can turn into ground drones at a moment's notice. Oh, and these ones are bastards, electrified. Really cool shit. Aesthetically, this game is great. The character design, as we can see here in the corner, is by Yoji Shinkawa of Metal Gear fame. Kojima, literally Kojima Productions. Let's just hit continue here. And you have mechanical design by Takayuki Yanase, who did a bunch of work on everything from Armor Core to the Gundam TV series. So yeah, some serious portfolio there. And the game was directed by Toshifumi Nabeshima, who worked on the original Armor Core games, which is one of the reasons this went from originally some idea of a strategy game into more of an action game with some mech combat as well. So here we go. Heading to chapter 7 here, the harbor. So this is Olga. So yeah, you can definitely see the Yoji Shinkawa influence on the design there. Now let's get this out of the way. This game wishes it was Metal Gear. That's not a bad thing. There are plenty of games that probably could, stand to take a page or two out of Metal Gear's framework here. And ooh, hey, shovel. Have I got? Oh, I've already got a bunch of equipment from that. I think actually this one probably. Yeah, that one was pretty badly damaged. Drop that. Equip. There we go. Yay, pipe. Pick up the shovel as a backup. Melee weapons degrade, so you definitely want to have a backup. So yeah, this game wants to be Metal Gear. It tries to make itself look like Metal Gear. It's got kind of the aesthetic, the grounded military sci-fi kind of look to it that you see with something like, MGS4 quite a bit. And in fact, the whole battlefield stealth thing, trying to sneak your way through an active battlefield, is very much in line with that game's kind of ideas. We got an enemy over here. And a lot of the mechanics are fairly similar. The problem is that this game is janky as fuck. Let's get that out of the way right now. The AI is inconsistent, as we'll probably soon see. The mechanics are just a little bit...
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Not as good as they could be. Oop. Okay. Hi there. Alright. And this is another thing that people had a problem with. I'm on standard difficulty. Anything above casual difficulty, the very minimal one, enemies do not die from a single headshot. Which, I mean, you've seen the kind of helmet these guys are wearing. It's pretty hardcore armor. So yeah, it makes sense that they would not die immediately. Also, they got these leg braces from their exoskeletons. They can carry some heavy equipment, and they actually jump really high and jump to the top of buses or trucks and stuff like that to get a better view on you. So being behind cover isn't always the best defense. And also, you've got these big bastards everywhere. Garmonian mechs, the aforementioned Wanzers. Definitely do not want to take one of those on with just small arms, let me tell you. And plus various other military vehicles. Tanks are a bitch too. Suffice to say, you are the underdog here, and you are not Solid Snake. You are not going to be able to just sneak up on an enemy and take them out. The best way of dealing with a soldier on its own like that is to run up to him with a melee weapon, slide into him to knock him to the ground, and then do a downward attack to insta-kill him. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do one shot. Just backstabbing him with a pipe to the back is not going to do it. You have to beat them down quite a bit. This game pretends it's a stealth game. It's not. It's a survival horror game. This is Resident Evil, only instead of zombies, you have guys in powered armor with assault rifles. And, giant mechs. In fact, one of the recurring boss enemies, a guy... We look at the database here. This guy, Ruslan, a former leader of a Novoslava liberation group, who was ostensibly murdered by one of our characters, who was arrested and supposedly executed for. Not true. Also, he didn't kill him. Turns out this guy is a bad guy working for the Republic of Zavdra. And you fight him recurrently, and honestly, he's a Resident Evil boss. By the end of it, you're fighting him while he's in a mech, and you have a target designator, and you're just calling in airstrikes on the guy, like, something out of one of the later Resident Evil games, where you're fighting a giant monster with a rocket launcher. It's very much this kind of game. And also, there's also the fact that most of your equipment is put together via the crafting menu. So Molotov cocktails, improvised explosive device, IEDs, all sorts of crazy shit, traps, building an auto turret from the remains of busted up drones and such like that. This game definitely, it wears, like I said, it looks like it's going to be a stealth action game. If you try playing it that way, you're gonna hate it. This is a game where you're supposed to avoid enemy encounters as much as you can because you are outgunned as fuck, especially on the higher difficulties. Now, you can actually, and probably will, take on enemies in combat fairly simply.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Uh-oh. Now, how the hell did he spot me that quickly? Well. Alright. See if I can take this guy out. Alright, there we go. So that wasn't too bad. But here's the thing. There are enemies right over there. And they didn't hear shit. See that? Those bastards are still just patrolling. The AI in this game is... There are certain times where you expect them to be able to hear everything you're doing and come rushing in. And other times when you expect to be able to be hide out and be completely unseen and they spot you. This is the main problem of treating this like a pure stealth game. You're just not going to have a good time. The AI just does not lend itself to it, which is unfortunate because had this game had the proper level of polish to it, I think it could have been really, really, really good. The concept of trying to fight your way and sneak your way through a city under siege like this, outgunned and, outnumbered, it could really work really, really well. The problem, of course, is the mechanics just not having the right level of polish that matches up with the aesthetic, and especially with the price point. This was a full price game. And hell, it even came up with a mech edition that came with a small Wanzer model and art book and everything like that, they charged a pretty penny for. Yeah, if I had bought this game at full price when it released, I would be pissed. Let's face facts. Luckily, I didn't. I bought it for like $6 on a Steam sale, so that's not quite as much of a problem. Let's see, I can flame bolt. Got a crossbow here. Let's actually set that guy on fire. This is a game where gadgets really, really help. Because as you saw, just trying to take out enemies with just guns, it's a losing proposition. Chances are that you're not going to be able, you're going to get outnumbered and just shredded. Uh-oh. Someone dropped a drone. Those little bastards are going to be a bit of a problem.
Caution.
Oh, did you hear that? No? Okay. Well, let's take these guys out, I guess. Alright. How about smoke grenade? Oh, they already dropped some smoke too. Okay, these guys are getting smoke happy too. Okay, he's over there. Ah, I'm blocked. Now, I have to admit, I've played this level a couple of times in practice just before recording. I have never seen them drop this much smoke at any point during gameplay. This is a new one, so what you're seeing about it being inconsistent, the AI can be rather unpredictable at times. Like, I don't even know I have any idea where they went. Luckily, I got some body armor so I can rush out a little bit. Where'd they go? Okay, they ran away. This is the... I have not had that happen before. That is nuts. So yeah, this is a survival horror game. And if you treat it as such, it's probably going to be a bit more of a good time for you. You even have like, item boxes and manual save points, just like in Resident Evil. So yeah, you got to treat it as such. So let's just go over here. I got opportunity to... Okay, let's drop the shovel in here. store that so I can have some more inventory space. You do have an inventory that you can increase with various backpacks that you find in the environment. Ooh, I got some body armor I can wear here. How's my current body armor here? Durability. That's not too bad. Okay, let's... How much does this thing weigh? 100? Okay, let's keep it as backup. And let's see, get some more assault rifle bullets. Ooh, let's grab some explosives. Alright, let's keep an eye out here. And let's make some bombs. So, crafting menu here. You have various things you can put together, various medical gadgets like hemostatic patches to stop bleeding, which is a problem, as you can imagine. You have flash bottles here that they're basically makeshift flashbangs, explosive cans, makeshift grenades, remote control versions if you add in portable bits of a cell phone that you can splice in there to make a remote bomb. Adhesive ones if you throw some gum on it and make it stick to enemies. Also, you can take crossbow bolts once you unlock that particular weapon, the crossbow weapon, and just, create various projectile versions. These ones are pretty good because you can aim them like a gun, but they are quiet. They don't have silenced weapons aside from this, so you have to be careful with that. Enemy sensor you can put together from bits of drone parts and that to detect enemies within a range. Also make an auto turret from drone remains. Let's make let's make one of those. Okay, don't have any more fuel cells. You can also make wire traps. Everything from you can make barbed wire to slow enemies down, wire traps with a bomb attached to it, smoke bomb go offs when they walk by, electrical ones to electrify them and stun them, or just, IEDs, because fuck yeah, when in doubt, IEDs. Let's make a couple of those. Why not? Yeah, and make a wire trap. 2 of those. Alright. So let's take a look at the map. The map has some interesting things to it. So you can see these red circles here. Now my main objective is to head here to search for intel on something I've been looking for here. I'm in the harbor looking for a secret Wanzer that's being built in the city, and it's possibly one of the reasons why the war is happening in the first place, along with some strange missing persons that she's been investigating as a police officer. And these areas are areas of high vigilance and presence from the enemy. Here we have caution, because I've just, been in a major firefight, and so obviously, since that's happened, the enemy's going to be more interested in what's going on here. You can actually influence the position of the enemy based on the amount of noise you're making. If you get into a lot of fights, kill a lot of enemies, cause a lot of explosions and the like, chances are the enemies are going to start moving from these areas to that area and create a new alert zone. However, that does mean that they might end up creating a safe zone that make it easier to go through, which can become in handy. So you do have some ability to influence enemy behavior in that way. So let's see about... Ooh, also there's little things you can grab here. You also have places you can hide. See what I mean about this being Metal Gear Light? Obviously you can't save when you have the enemy after you, so that's not good. And there's always plenty of stuff to find in the environment. There's also people you can find in the environment. One of the main side objectives is locating civilians, convincing them to come with you to one of the, see there in the corner there, shelters. The whole city has a bunch of bomb shelters and stuff like that, like these, that people can escape to. And then you escort them there. That's right. The main side objective in this game are escort missions. Yeah. When I said the AI was not exactly good, well, in this case, the enemy will... Well, sometimes they'll spot them, sometimes they usually will, in fact. And if I do actually manage to find some of these people, I'll be able to show it off. But when you encounter one of these people, the path they're going to go on is predetermined.
Verifying local surveillance status. Numerous soldiers are on guard around Warehouse 2. There is a possibility you may come across the enemy commander. While advantageous for gathering intelligence, it would be dire if they detected you even for a moment.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't want that.
Caution.
Oh, Speaking of being detected for a moment. Okay. How about no?
Clear the target! Throwing grenade!
Shit. Okay, this one is kind of smart. Oh, here he comes. Okay. Whew. And I guess nobody else noticed. Sometimes you get the whole map's worth of enemies coming after you. Sometimes only a handful will actually find you. It's inconsistent, as I said. And that is really the main problem with the game. Especially the fact that it has manual saves, which means that if you do get overwhelmed and...
Nearby survivor located.
Oh, here we go.
Transmitting coordinates to your device.
Okay, good. I'll be able to show this off. So, let's see. The survivor... Really? That's considered nearby? Really? Yeah. Yeah, how about new? I'll get to that later. Anyway, that's where one of the survivors is. So yeah, sometimes you end up with a shit ton of enemies coming down and breathing down your neck. Sometimes it's just, you know, a bunch of them come after you. You can take them out pretty quickly. The inconsistency is really the problem here. But for some reason... Maybe it's just the fact that I really enjoy this setting.
Assignment change. You're to head to the warehouse. Orders are to not look inside.
More of this confidential bullshit? What's the Major up to with all this sneaking around?
Nothing we need to be briefed on. Now get going.
A little bit of intel gathering. So yeah, maybe it's just something to do with the fact that I really enjoy this kind of setting. Or the general aesthetic. I mean, let's face it, the game does look really cool. I mean, okay, textures aren't necessarily that great, and...
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Ooh, yeah, the enemy is approaching. And there's a mech stomping around somewhere. Like, presentation could be a little bit better. This game definitely does
Caution.
feel a bit
The enemy is approaching.
PS3-ish, I guess. It definitely feels like it's a generation out of step with its contemporaries.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
And yes, the AI is going to keep saying that whenever the enemy is nearby ad infinitum until you get away from them or they're all dead. So, yeah, get used to that. But I don't know. There's something about the concept that just speaks to me in some way. I really, really enjoy
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
A, stealth games, but B, games like this where you have this kind of grimy,
Caution.
gritty...
The enemy is approaching.
Yeah. Grimy, gritty kind of aesthetic to it. But also I enjoy these kind of character models as well. I really have a thing for this kind of realistic but stylized...
The enemy is approaching.
That's the one!
Oh. How did they not hear that? Oh, okay. Somebody did hear something. They dropped a drone. But this kind of like realistic but stylized kind of look that these characters have is something I really, really like from a lot of games like the Yakuza series. Binary Domain's another one that I really enjoy that has this kind of feel to it. That one's a really good game. I should really cover it at some point. Big boy. It's just something that, for whatever reason, I keep coming back to this. And I think this game does, if you approach it the right way, does actually lend itself to some enjoyment, so to speak. If you're not trying to play it, you know, like Metal Gear, if you're trying to play it on its own merits. Oop. Somebody kind of noticed me a bit.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Have fun with that.
Grenade!
body armor damage.
Okay, these guys did
Body
notice.
armor damage worsening.
Get out of here. Okay.
Warning, body armor failure. Please take care when under fire.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Okay, there we go. Oh, hey, I got another save point. Hey, better backpack. Nice. It does pay to explore around here. Enemy Wanzer over there. Definitely do not want to get that thing's attention. Yeah, definitely there's an alert status here. Deep bottle. Ooh, hey. Nice. Get the higher ground. Yeah, it definitely pays to explore quite a bit. And you can climb up on various areas like this. Occasionally, oh, hey. Haha, we gotta be able to jump into a Wanzer. Nice. Okay, if I can, I'm gonna try to get to that Wanzer over there so we can actually demonstrate some of that. Throw a grenade. There we go. So long as you're not just rushing in and actually taking your time and trying to avoid...
How am I out of ammo?
Ah, crap. Yeah, this spoke too soon. So long as you're actually paying attention to what's going on and actually watching out for enemies, placing traps, using your various projectiles, and... What am I doing here? Should probably actually learn to listen to my own advice here. Ow. Okay. Again, I want to heal up a bit. There.
Much better.
There we go. It is actually possible to run and gun a little bit in this game, so long as you're paying close attention to your surroundings. These guys are equipped with some pretty heavy-duty armor, so let's... Oh, shit.
My job.
Oh, that guy had a rocket launcher. Luckily, I've got a revival pill I can use to... Oh, the revival injection, actually.
Much better.
Okay, so we kind of got ourselves in a little pickle here. Let's throw an enemy sensor. So now we can actually pick these guys up. That guy's equipped with a freaking minigun slash rocket launcher, so that's not good. Definitely want to try and get to that. Alright, there we go. And no, I'm probably not going to be able to pick that weapon. Ow. Actually, I should.
That's much better.
Indeed. Okay, take that guy out. These guys are equipped with some heavier duty armor than your average soldiers. But, ooh, hey, nice. Got a new entry here. Anti-tank missile launcher. That's what hit me. Its bulk hits the upper limit of practicality for foot soldiers. Packs a punch that deals major damage wherever it hits, including Wanzers. That's actually quite handy. Ooh, and there's got two of them there. Some weapons like this you can actually pick up and... Oh yeah. Well, actually, no. Let's pick up the minigun. There are certain moments where you can actually pick up these heavier weapons like sniper rifles or miniguns or the missile launcher there and do some serious damage. Of course, you can't reload, but
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
yeah, let them. This game is like, it's schizophrenic. Sometimes you're completely underpowered and you're going to just get wrecked. And other times you're just piloting a giant robot and just obliterating everybody in your path. Like, look at this. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, okay. I only have 53 rounds left in this thing, though, but... And, of course, it slows you down like crazy, but still. Totally worth it. See, I guess this is the thing. This game is... The difficulty, I think... It's kind of like that Dark Souls thing. It's...
Enemy troop deployments have changed.
Oh.
Transmitting information to your device.
So, yeah. Yeah, now I'm definitely going to be moving into this area. Let's just drop that. Let's pick up this empty tin can here. This game, on the one hand, obviously the difficulty is coming from the fact that its technical aspects are not 100% fully cooked. But on the other hand, the difficulty actually just fits with the general aesthetic and the story. You are not, Solid Snake, as I said. You are just one of three poor schmucks trying to survive in the middle of a war zone, completely outgunned and outnumbered. So the difficulty does, in fact, fit with that. Add to that the fact that you have these moments where you're just like, an overpowered badass for whatever reason because you managed to unlock a particular weapon or, jump into the right to Wanzer there. Grab some stuff here. And you do eventually get more powerful. The start of the game is definitely a slog because you're packing, pistols and SMGs versus guys in powered armor. It is not a good idea to try to go head to head with them under those circumstances. Once you get assault rifles, those tend to be a lot more effective. But, that's probably around chapter 3 or 4 that you start really getting your hands on.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Okay, careful with that. Don't want to necessarily use a missile launcher on those guys. Should I try to take this guy on foot? I have 6 rounds. Ugh. Let's just check the map, see how far away I am from that Wanzer. That was somewhere around here. Okay. I'm just going to put this here.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Oh, another item box nearby. Oh, shit. That's the Molotov.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Burn!
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Ooh, that guy did a little jump.
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Luckily, she's got a stun gun, always handy for a police officer's point of view. And somehow... Ooh. Come on. I'm gonna take that as a win. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I am gonna hit him with a rocket launcher. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, you didn't see shit. Take all that. Alright, let's grab that KIA key. These things are actually useful because they, one, every one you pick up increases your health by 1%. And also, once you actually beat the game, if I'm not mistaken, the KI beacons actually become points that you can use to buy particular skills to increase your abilities, increase your stealth abilities, increase the power of your weapons. Now, why that is a new game plus thing, as opposed to a something you can do between chapters, is a complete mystery to me. That would have probably helped improve this game quite a bit. If you were able to make yourself more powerful as you went along, that would probably have helped quite a few people quite a bit. As it is, well, well, the game is what it is. But as I said, there's something about this game that, for whatever reason, just keeps appealing to me. Oh, and there's a sniper over there. Oh. There's that Wanzer. Okay. Definitely I'm going to do some Wanzer combat before the end of this game. Okay, so let's see. If I can just... Okay, he's probably too far away for me to hit. Yeah. Definitely I want to get in that goddamn robot. Luckily, there's all these cargo containers around here so you can use for cover. So yeah, every ones in your body can be piloted. Every now and then, you're given the opportunity to get into one of the enemy Wanzers. Oh, hello, sniper. There we go. Alright, sniper rifle. Don't mind me. One shot kill. Ah, yeah. Could I please not miss?
Enemy troop deployments have changed. Transmitting information to your device.
Ah, and of course I'm out of ammo. Well, okay, no problem. Oh, there's this guy here. Come on. Alright. Screw this. We're getting in the robot. Here we go.
There's no other way.
No, there isn't. And we like it this way. Oh, nice. Alright. Got a machine gun. Machine gun on both arms. And we got enemies to fight.
You are taking damage. Please begin evasive maneuvers.
Okay, I'm just gonna do commentary afterwards once I've done beating these guys. Alright, got one. Missiles launching. There we go. Kaboom. Alright, so this is a Wanzer. You got your left-hand weapons, you got your right-hand weapons, shoulder weapons. In this case, a rocket launcher and some missiles. You have the ability to do a little quick dash, which you can actually use to tackle enemies, which is actually kind of handy. Oh, we got another one.
Damage increasing. Realigning fuselage control. Be prudent with remaining rounds in. Right shoulder, missile launcher.
Oh shit, I got out of the robot. Hit the wrong button. Ow. There we go. Took that guy out. And got some info on the different companies and the different models. That's actually something I do enjoy, the fact that when you destroy an enemy or, you know, pick up a weapon, you actually get some kind of information on them. So yeah, you have the ability to do a quick dash, left and right, forward, backwards. You have the ability, as I mentioned, to do the quick roller dash forward and backwards. And of course, the triumphant music every time you get into one of these things. It's moments like these that the game, you know, you really get that, you know, fuck yeah moment of having spent all this time just running around, trying to avoid being seen, and now you're just in the pilot seat of a goddamn killing machine, just obliterating everything. See, this is what I mean. This game could have been great. Let's face fact. It had the pedigree necessary. It had the right people for it. It had the, you know, the right ideas. It's just the technical execution just was not quite there. Oh, and I guess there's some enemies still around here who probably noticed the fact that I was blowing everything up. Well, I don't know. I know that a lot of people really hate this game for very good reasons. It was a front mission game that pretty much put the front mission series on ice for quite some time due to the fact that it didn't do well. And it didn't do well based on its own merits. And look, this is something also I like. The fact that there's all these, you know, drones and helicopters flying through the air. The general feel of this game is great. Gameplay feel kind of sucks, let's face facts. But the general aesthetic, the atmosphere, this I love. It's one of those games I wish someone would give it another shot. This kind of look, this kind of gameplay approach, the ideas behind it. The idea of taking a cross between Resident Evil and Metal Gear and throwing in a bunch of mech fights, including mech fights that, honestly, think about it. If you had done a game that had this, if someone had put at, you know, Konami, had instead of Metal Gear Survive, had made a Metal Gear mech game, where you're actually piloting wrecks like you do in Metal Gear 4 that one time. But in making an entire game about that with occasional sneaking, it would have been a hell of a spin-off and people would have probably gone for it. With or without Kojima. Or maybe not. Maybe people have still been pissed off about that whole thing. It's one of those things where I don't know how much of the hate here is due to the game's own faults and how much of it simply not being what people wanted. I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling. This game is definitely... I won't even say it's a diamond in the rough. It is just rough. But I think that provided you're going in this thing knowing what you're getting into and not paying full price, just waiting for a discount, then honestly, I think it is actually worth checking out. At least, you know, giving it a decent playthrough. It's one of those things where you have to take it on its own merits and play it by its own rules and not try to play it like it's something else. You have to play it as a survival game, first and foremost. Something where you're trying to avoid enemy encounters as much as you can. Using your resources wisely, especially on the higher difficulties. I'm playing a bit, you know, crappily simply because I'm talking at the same time. But I think you can see why I have a bit of a soft spot for this game in spite of... Oh man, this place is added rough. In spite of its various numerous faults. It's one that, even when it's frustrating me, it's got enough going for it that I actually just keep coming back to it. Alright, there's a guy here. Let's try and do...
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Stealth kill! And there we go. Solid Snake, eat your heart out. I have been Zero Sum. This has been Left Alive. More videos to come. I'll be bringing back MechWarrior Monday soon. Probably going to do a video on the Front Mission 3 remake when that one's out on Steam. Till then, have a good 2026. And I'm ejecting. Bye-bye.
All primary objectives complete. Mission successful.